Hello everybody and welcome back to drawing Ben 10 aliens as monsters. Not going to do much of an intro today, you guys know the drill at this point, let's just jump right into it. The Galvatode and Galvamorph fungus go hand in hand and have a symbiotic relationship with each other and the hunter. The Galvatode will eat the sap that drains from the fungus and mix it with their saliva to create a dense slime-like compound. When kicked, these toads spit that compound onto a hunter's armor, giving them a defense boost. Or, in turn, if the toad fully digests the sap, its excretions then spread the spores of the fungus. Hunters can also collect this sap themselves and mix it with a mite seed to create a more potent attack boost pill. The Galvamorph fungus can be found all over the New World, but it's mostly prevalent in the Rotten Vale, where it is easy to thrive among the decay. So, Gray Matter and Upgrade. I actually struggled a lot with these two, trying to make it into a regular monster that you would hunt. Obviously, they're way too unique. Gray Matter being super small and Upgrade being technology-based. I don't think I could really work those into a organic monster very well, but I did want to play off the fact that they both are technically Galvan. But I wanted to give them a symbiotic relationship of some kind because in Ben 10 lore, you know, Galvan made the Galvan mechamorphs. So I decided to go with an endemic life creature for this one, and it's kind of a 2-for-1. I really enjoyed the brainstorming process of how I would want this toad to look, and the plant version of Upgrade, this fungus, is actually really interesting to me. Basically, it would be just giving you attack up and defense up depending on how you applied it to yourself. Just a different way of getting those in the game. I know there's plenty of ways to get it in-game, but yeah. I don't know, just something, a different little way to expand upon what we already had in-game. Up next we have Piscioth. Similar to Levisioth and Juratodus, Piscioth are Piscine Wyverns, but this fish resides in the Coral Highlands. Unlike its cousins, Piscioth has developed a strong set of jaws. This monster's teeth can shred through armor in an instant, and it's even been seen biting cleanly through the tail of a Deviljho. This creature is not hyper-aggressive though, and will only attack when threatened. They usually take up residence low in the Coral Highlands, or high in the Rotten Vale, depending on your perspective, and they use this to their advantage for scavenging. They use their forehead-mounted lure to draw in old, dying, weary creatures on their way to the Vale for their final sleep. So, Ripjaws. Obviously, he just works really well. Juratodus is one of those monsters that really, if you just change the color palette, could just be Ripjaws in and of himself. You know, he's a fish that can walk on land. And I thought that Ripjaws would just fit in really well, and it was actually the idea of making Ripjaws into a monster that sparked this kind of whole series. I just wanted to wait a little while before I actually did it, so I'm glad it turned out well, and I'm happy with how it worked. I imagine him really taking some big chunks out of your armor. I don't know how that would be shown visually, but I think he would be able to give defense down and stuff like that, and of course Water Blight. And there might be some way of him like using his lure to do like flash stuff, but I'm not super sure. We don't need another Kinayaku thing, but that's just some interesting concepts I came up with. I also decided to put him in the Coral Highlands because he's a very light colored fish, and he, I think, would fit in pretty well. Also, the Coral Highlands being a coral reef has no Piscine Wyverns in it. Kind of weird. I mean, well, if you count Namiel as a fish type of monster, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, moving on. Finally, we have the Kinayaku. This bird wyvern is known for its fancy footwork. Residing primarily in the Elder's Recess, the Kinayaku spends its days zipping from area to area, collecting food and nesting materials. This monster has an incredibly high metabolism and must eat very frequently to survive. Because of this, the Kinayaku has evolved to run extremely fast. This speed is also demonstrated whenever it is threatened. The monster will skirt around its foe and pick up items between its toes. It will then rear back onto its tail and throw these items with great speed and force. This is quite the display, because while running with rocks between its toes, you can often see sparks fly and trail behind. The creature has also been seen rearing back on its tail to deliver many quick kicks in short succession, and when it picks up a bomb pod, those kicks can get explosive. So, Accelerate. I don't think that this monster in-game would be able to go nearly as fast as Accelerate, whatever. How would you fight it, right? But I do want it to be an extremely fast monster. You do have to dodge a lot, and I really liked the idea of, since Accelerate had the roller balls on his feet, and turning that into a monster that uses slinger ammo against the player. So it would either, it would run to a bomb pod or something and pick it up, and it would either throw it at you, or it would run up and hit you with it in its toes and cause an explosion and maybe, cause a blight onto you as well. I really like that idea. The slinger ammo, I think, is pretty underutilized in terms of how monsters do it. I think Puke uses like the smoke plants and stuff like that to enhance himself, but that's the only monster that I know of that actually uses anything that the slinger and the hunter use. So I think it would be pretty interesting to see that type of mechanic in game. And for the same reason as a lot of these, I put him in the Elder Recess because there's no bird wyverns there. I don't even know if I can technically call him a bird wyvern. He has no feathers, he has no beak or bird-like features. He's very reptilian, very raptor-y, but his skeleton would basically be that of the bird wyvern. So, technically classification, he'd be a bird wyvern. So, that is that for this video. 3 new monsters made out of Ben 10 aliens. I hope you enjoyed it. This episode was still pretty Monster Hunter World centric, just because I was writing it and drawing these things before Rise came out, but the next video will probably be a bit more centered on Rise so that I can continue to capitalize on this hype. I hope you guys are enjoying Rise, by the way, because I've been playing the heck out of it and it's super fun. And who knows, maybe I can actually see one of you guys in the field someday. Either way, I don't think I have anything else to say here. Please leave a comment down below on what you would like to see next, what aliens I could turn into monsters, or what monsters I could turn into aliens, or I'm thinking about maybe doing an armor set video soon, turning the aliens into armor sets based on the monsters that I've already drawn, all that good stuff. So, let me know what you think. Please subscribe down below, hit the bell, all that stuff, leave me a like, share this with your friends. I would love the extra publicity, so, but that's all from me, so I will see you next time. Peace. Because of this, the Kinayaku has evolved, I can't speak very well.